This is Prashant Rao. It's been a couple of months since I did my last video. A couple of folks have requested, so I thought I would go over a few charts. I've been buying many stocks in the last 2 months, and I thought I would go into those and just explain what my rationale was when I bought them. So let's start with FOSL. Now, if you're looking at a daily chart, it's not very obvious what's going on. But when you zoom out into the weekly, you'll see that there is a double bottom formation. And after the double bottom formation, you see that it has crossed the neckline. And there is also another neckline that is right here, a mini neckline. So when something is in a profound downtrend, you generally want the price action to get to the next neckline if there is one near enough. So otherwise you just have to go with whatever neckline you have. So now let's get into the daily, and you'll see that the price crossed the came back, crossed the neckline, and then went all the way back. And after it went all the way back, there is a key reversal right here. And a key reversal is nothing but open on the low, close on the high. That's bullish key reversal. Or if it's a bearish one, it's open on the high, close on the low. So this is an open on the low, close on the high, and it fully encompasses the previous bars. And so I got in right here. This is where I got it. And you can see that even after that, there's a lot of sideways action in this stock. But when you see a pattern like this, it's a fairly high probability pattern. So regardless of all this chopping around which happened for several days, stuck to this, and soon enough it zoomed past. I think like a rocket, went over probably 100%. I got off a little early, but anyways, for the purposes of demonstration of the pattern, this is how you would read it, and that's what I saw, and that's why I got it. So now let's take a look at another stock. Let's take a look at VEDL, Vedanta Limited. So this is one of the stocks that I was following. I was looking for some mining and resource stocks, came across this, and here you can see this giant drop, and there's a certain event behind it, but I don't really focus on the events when it comes to analysis. I just like to look at the price. And if you see right here, there is a double bottom formation and two bars here, the second one pointing upwards. And then once it crossed the neckline, and you saw this key reversal right here again. So it crosses the neckline, retraces, key reversal, and I got in somewhere around here. And you can see that I had a pretty phenomenal ride in the stock. So that's another example of a double bottom. Now let's go into another one. Let's go into letter X. Letter X, from this chart, nothing is clear. It's not obvious what's going on. But when you look at the monthly, you'll see that it's in a profound downtrend. It's been going down for years and years. And if you watch closely here, now you zoom out or zoom in, and you watch the action here, you'll see that there is a double bottom formation. This entire thing is a double bottom. And then the neckline is right around here. So once it crossed the neckline, it became obvious that this was going to rocket higher. And around here was where I got it. So it's another example of a double bottom formation. Let's take a look at FCX, another stock. And FCX, again, it's so far had been in a profound downtrend. And here you can see on the monthly that there is a double bottom formation. And your neckline is right about here for the monthly. Now, when I see something like this, you don't really have to wait for, there are some cases where you don't really have to wait for the price to cross the neckline. If you did, then your upside is going to be fairly limited. I mean, there's still a lot of runway, but it would not give you the best results. So let's get into a weekly chart. And what I saw here was after the neckline, so like I said, so that you need to wait for two necklines to be crossed. So there is a mini double bottom on the weekly. So this is one bottom, this is the other bottom. The second one is lower than the first one, it doesn't matter. But in the end, you saw it cross the neckline and then subsequently cross the second neckline. So I don't recall exactly where, but I probably got in somewhere here. And it's been a phenomenal ride since then. So that's how you would read this. Let's take a look at what else do I have. Let's take a look at Oxy. And if you look at Oxy again, you will see that it's been in a massive downtrend. And there was this double bottom formation here. Neckline is right over here. The two bottoms don't have to be symmetrical. They can be asymmetrical. But this right here, this bar right here, was a telltale sign that you should have probably gotten here. But by the time I saw the stock, it had moved further along, so I probably got in somewhere here. Don't recall exactly. So waited for, so basically saw this double bottom with a key reversal, and I jumped in. And if you wanted to follow my previous methodology where you want to wait for the neckline, wait for the second neckline, and then buy it, I mean, you still would have made a pretty significant gain right here. And this still has a long way to go. So let's take a look at something more complex. Let's take a look at gold. So if you see gold, we've had this massive run up and then followed by that had a massive run down. Now let's watch this a little more closely. So when you look at the patterns, let's take a look at the weekly. And if you look at the weekly, you will see that the move until this point, until here, has been very orderly. But from here, there's all of a sudden there was a giant spike in volatility. So too many people were getting in. Prices moved dramatically higher in a parabolic fashion. And that was a sign that we're going to see a reversal sometime soon. And this key reversal right here, this giant bar, was the bar that essentially told you to get out. And if you look at closely, and this was a good opportunity to go short if one wanted to. And so if you look at it closely, you'll see that this is essentially a head and shoulders type of formation, or you can think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4 tops right here. And when you see an action like this, you don't just get away with it. It is inevitably going to go downward, and it will go down by almost as much as this distance here, and that's exactly what happened. So I think we have seen the bottom and gold for now. I also had other opportunities internally here where I went short. So at some point it felt like there was a double bottom, crossed the neckline, and then you saw this inside bar. It's a very bullish sign, so I was going to get in here, but thankfully I did not. And soon, very next day, there was a big key reversal all the way back. And when you see something like this, it doesn't just come back right up. It's gonna definitely go down and then start making its way upward. So with this key reversal, I think we have seen the bottoms, and we've seen the bottom, and I think we go higher up from here. So I know it was a little fast, but that's all the time I have right now. I'll hope to do some more videos some other time. Until then, see you next time.